Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about that HTTP request. So what exactly that HTTP request? So that is one of the most important things that you should know. React.js is a JavaScript library. So with this React.js, you cannot insert some of the data from to the form to the database, and also you cannot read data from to the database, and you cannot visible it with using that React.js. So for doing this, you have to use some of the backend language, like as you can use that ASP.NET, you can use that Laravel, you can use that as a Python Django. So with this, you can actually pass all that HTTP requests. That means here, if you want to insert some of the data from the form to your backend, that means in your database area, then you have to use some of the backend language, right? And also the same things, if you want to read data from to the database and if you want to visible it in your website, then you have to use some of the backend language. So you cannot do that work with using that React.js. So as I told you before, React.js is one of the JavaScript library, right? So you can actually do all that work, that means the founding work, with using that React.js. That means it's not able to pass any kinds of HTTP request to your database. So in this course, when we will create one of the project, then we will use the Laravel. Okay, so how can actually handle your all the HTTP request with the backend language as a Laravel. So I will show you that things with a live example. So now here you can see that is actually our browser. So when you pass any kinds of request, that in the data request to the server, then it's actually pass some of the data response. So this the data response actually is passing by the JSON type. So if you already know about that JSON type, then I think you already know about it, how the things exactly work. So with the server side, we will actually get all the data with the get, and also when you insert some of the data, then we actually use it as a post, and then the put for the update, and then a delete. So they have some of the requests, right? So with this request, we actually fetch all the data from to the database and also insert the data into the database. So for now, I want to use that JSON placeholder because of all in our project, into the project right now I don't have any database, right? So now I want to use some of the fake API, that is actually the JSON placeholder. As I told you before, if you search with the JSON placeholder, and with the JSON placeholder, if you go to that as a JSON placeholder, here you can see that is actually the fake online REST API for developers. So also literally in this course, I will show you how can create this type of one of the API, and with this API how can get all the data. Like that is actually one of the JSON placeholder into the JSON placeholder. Here you can see there is some of the example, there is a fetch that data. So also there is a post, all that post data, there is a comments. So this all that actually for developer access. Okay, like right now as I told you, I don't have any data, right? I don't have any database. For the reasons right now I want to actually fetch all the data. I want to get it from our this API. So that is actually our routes, and to the routes you can see there is a post, there is our post, there is our one of the blog, that means the comments. So they have some all that our code application. So as I told you literally I will also show you how can create some of the API with the REST API. Okay, that means the RESTful API, and there is our post. So right now I want to do like there is actually our blog, right? So into the blog area I need some of the demo data. So if you open that post, so into the post here you can see they have some of the demo data. There is a user ID, there is a one of the ID, and there is a title, one of the field data, and there is our body. So that is one of the fake API. So with using this API, I want to get all the data from here, and I want to visible it in our blog page. That means here. Okay, so if you want to actually access it, that means if you want to access with this JSON API, then we'll need that Axios. Like I show you, if you go to a search with the Axios, okay, Axios install, and then you can see there is actually Axios npm. Now I just simply open it. Right now we don't need this, I just simply remove it, and now here there is our Axios. That means this one actually package. So there is a package will be needed. So for now you can see there is actually all that features to make the XML HTTP request from your browser. So if you want to access it, you have to install that Axios. Okay, so that is our browser support. So every browser is sectional support. So if you want to install it, you can install it with using that npm install Axios. And also if you use that yarn, then you can use that yarn. So right now that is also some of the example. You can see with this get request we get all the data. So we get all the data from our this API, that means our this JSON placeholder API. So we will get it, and also if you want to post it, then you can actually post it. So you can also use that same things. That means you can use that XJS in your Vue.js. So if you are working with the Vue.js, you can also do that work with the Vue.js. You can also working with the XJS in Angular and the React.js and also the JavaScript. Okay, so here you can actually use it. So step by step I will show you how can use that XJS, how can install it in your system. So with this XJS, actually it's a pass two of this response data. One is the then, another is the catch. So into the then area, when your request actually successful, then our this then function actually work, and rather than when it should be handling that error. That means when they have any error in your request, then our this catch function actually work. Okay. So literally everything will be very much clear to you, friend, don't worry. So that is our XJS. It's actually helping you to manage your HTTP requests. So as I told you, they have the two function. One is a then, another actually a catch. So then is for use for the successful all that message, and catch is used for to handle all that your error. And also if you want to post it, then you can also apply the post with this post. So step by step I will show you. So now first of all I want to actually get all that our this JSON placeholder data. I want to get all the data and I want to visible it in our this blog page. Okay, so how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.